Hey, what's happening now? How y'all doing? What's good? Sorry about that. What's happening? Appreciate that, Miss Candy, doing what I can out here. Hey, Amanda Seals in the building. What's happening? Hold on.
There we go.
All right, man.
There we go.
Maybe they'll stop calling me, man. Shit.
I know how it be, man. So, phone's probably ringing off the hook just now in the past 10 minutes. I mean,
Yeah, nah, but you know who it was though. It wasn't.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah, we know who it was.
Yeah, and I know,
People just doing jobs, man, trying to get all this shit right.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have a conversation with him, with one particular person.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's all good. With
Somebody Wallace Fox went on none of this shit. Now what you saying, cuz?
I ain't. But yeah, man, I was asking about an old record, like before you made the decision to start doing and making the music that eventually became KRIT WUZ HERE. There was this record you did a long time ago called Adidas and Ones that sounded like the old Cry Mob junk.
Yeah.
What was your mindset back then when you were making them kind of records? Were you just was that the goal? Was just trying to get on the radio? Is that what you thought with the thing what was necessary at the time?
Definitely. I mean, but back then, bro, like being on radio was like the most important thing. It's like, oh shit, I got a song that's on radio. Like, and that's before I understood about spins and markets and like regions and any of that. So it was like if you getting played, hold on one second, man. I'm trying to clear the mic out. Everybody keeps saying clear the mic out. Give me one second. Oh no, I know what it is. You motherfucking earpods.
Apple.
There we go.
Tripping. Hey. You hear me, Wally?
There we go.
Yo.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you clear as day now.
Bet. Yeah, I think that might have been the motherfucking move. There it goes. All right, cool. So, people, yeah, man, it's just want to be on radio, bro. Want to be heard in your city and want people to drive down the street in they cars and your music blasting. Like that was super important. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where Adidas Ones came from. But also I was a producer, so it was Stilettos and Pumps by Crime Mob that came out. And I saw the reaction in the club when women would come in. So shit, I did like a remix version of my own for, niggas with they forces and they Adidas in the club. And so one day we had a show at Whistler, and which is a black high school in my city. And Maceo came down, and I opened up and shit, and I swear, like, motherfuckers started taking their shoes off when that song came on. And I was like, oh, shit.
You was turned up.
Bro, what? I think they thought I was from Atlanta. I got to be honest with you, because I live right across the street. And I feel like all these people been seeing me all my life. But that one day, I went and bought all the LRG outfits I could. I had this big ass LR. I look crazy.
You was tapping into your rapper powers. You was tapping into them rapper powers.
And yeah, man, and it was so crazy because I performed and it was like people I knew that was looking at me as if they didn't know me. And I was like, oh shit, this song really blowing up. And then yeah. And so then no doubt. And the next day I heard it on the radio, and then I went to work, and then somebody was like, yo, that's you on the song on the radio. And then the next day I quit my job and shit.
And here we are.
Yeah, I'm just putting my shit. I wish it was that simple.
Yeah, well, you got the way you was trying to get to,
Yeah, so, no doubt.
That was just a part of the journey. And beyond that, after you know the buzz from that died down, what was the thing that shifted your focus into making the music that you ultimately ended up making, which was, you know, the KRIT WUZ HERE type of music where you would, you know, the introspective stuff and just really being your actual true self.
I mean, I had always made music like that, but back then, I mean, social media didn't really exist, so people had to get your whole project and listen to it all the way through. Normally, the record that you had on the radio defined, which kind of still do now, defined who you were as an artist.
Yeah.
And so, you know, back then it was like shit. If you had a popping record, then people would then listen to your album. Then you would have shows and all that stuff too. When I got to Atlanta, mixtape game was like first starting to boom, like really changed. That's when I finally started chopping it up with you, DJ Folk. You know, y'all was putting like the cuts that people didn't necessarily know about on mixtapes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, the songs that y'all really enjoyed are like the secret records or old records that the artists that might have did. And so that was when like I started like, you know what, I'm gonna just start making stuff that's a little bit different than what they were doing on the radio, but still try to EQ it the same way, try to mix it down, quality, try to kind of compete with what radio had going on, but it was just what I was dealing with in the moment and not so much of trying to have a catchy hook. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure. I can dig it, man. I know, speaking of like when you and I first connected back when the mixtape game was like at its peak, and like I said yesterday, I've said many times before, the first song I heard was Just Touch Down.
Yeah.
And you had like Just Touch Down and then like some other songs, like something that were on previous projects before they won KRIT WUZ HERE. I mean, what were you feeling when like you put those out and they get like a certain level of buzz, and then the buzz would kind of die down? What made you believe in those songs so much that you like these are, you know, regardless of them being out prior, these are my best records and I'm my best foot forward right now because I'm really swinging for the fences.
Bro, I mean, a lot of it because I just loved the samples, and I loved what I had created with it, and I knew it sounded different than everything else, right?
Yeah, that's for damn.
So that was the biggest part, but on top of that, it was like I couldn't rap about some of the shit a lot of these other rappers was rapping about because when people would run into me, they would see I didn't have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you get to Atlanta, when I got to Atlanta, and then I saw how a lot of people were moving.
Oh.
To Atlanta, and I saw how the promotion, the money, and motherfuckers had the bread before they was rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like they was promoting. I couldn't compete with that shit. So me, it was like, man, let me rap about what I'm going through in my real life, and convey that through the music, and then keep the soul aspect there too. And it really worked out for me because I was able to do interviews. I was able to converse with people, and it was more of a human side instead of having to try to be a superhero all the time.
Right.
You know, and I talk about it in my music, man. Like I was literally documenting what I was going through in the moment on these projects. And that's from See Me on Top 1 to See Me on Top 2, See Me on Top 3, King of the Queen with you. Like standing on that with that Humvee and all that shit, man. I was broke as
Yeah,
fuck.
man, with the John Deere colors on.
With the John Deere colors on, some fucking bootleg Bapes. I was broke as shit. You know what I'm saying? The cover at that moment looked all right, but the concept and the music was still conveying the lifestyle I was living.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? You looked hungry. You looked hungry back then. That was one of the things. You looked at the music. You sounded not hungry as like, you know, I'm about to be skinny. I mean hungry like I'm about to get after it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I was hungry too though, so it's all good. Shit, got me fucked up. Like But that was all, bro. I'm in the flea market. Like all the outfits you see on all the See Me on tops and all the mixtape covers. I'm in the flea market. You feel me?
Hey man, you did what you had to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't even do that. You know, they think they got to do something, you know, one certain way, but you did what you thought was necessary, and I mean, it eventually worked out for you. You mentioned samples earlier, man. I want to talk about samples, you know, quickly. When KRIT WUZ HERE came out, when it first got released, y'all did what's up, Premium Pete beer game.
Oh yeah, it's a lot
Shout out
going
to
on. Yeah,
Premium Pete.
yeah. You definitely the Black Santa Claus right now, Wally. I just want to let you know.
I got the salt and pepper thing happening over here,
Yeah,
man.
shout out to Bird. Yeah,
For sure. You know what I mean? But when KRIT WUZ HERE came out, on Twitter, you had this contest where you told people like, look, man, I bet y'all can't name all these samples, man. That was like that's like a bold thing to do for a new artist, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no way any of y'all can figure out, you know, what all of these samples are. You know what I mean? What did that idea come from?
Because they still can't figure out all them goddamn samples. First off, and then back then, like the music still was. It's hard to explain, man. The way I went about trying to sample was not take away from what people had already done musically, right? Like not diminish the concept they already had, but try to figure out a really creative way to add on to the music. And so a lot of the samples I sampled, man, were very obscure, very different, and I've always been on that level and that wave, but add very minimum to the songs, man, and then just ride. I think I Just Touched Down might be the most well-known one that I actually use. Yeah. Other than that, it's kind of like you wouldn't know, or you would be like, oh, that has to be a sample, and I probably played that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It was crazy, like a record, like something I had no idea. I mean, when I heard it, I was like, is that who I think it is? And then I went